Hello everyone, Sen6 here, and this is a top 15 hilarious McDonald play stories. Um, at the end of the videos, I believe I'm going to be making two of these. I will tell the story of when I believe it was one of my friends went to the play place and wound up smashing some odd dude. Like, there weren't any kids around, but I found it very odd that they wanted to have a little fun in the play place, but I'll get to that after I'm done with this. God damn it.
All of the following stories are from the Ask Reddit post, McDonald's employees, what is the worst thing that has ever happened in the play place? Number 15. It started as a fairly average Monday morning. A couple of kids got into a small fight, but we usually don't step in unless it's anything serious. Anyway, it's getting kinda late and I only had an hour left. Two kids got into a pretty big argument. Lots of hair pulling, pushing, etc. I was feeling pretty tired that day, probably still hungover from the night before. Didn't really bother to do anything because it looked like their parents had noticed anyway. One of the kids was fairly older than the other one, and the mother of the younger kid was pretty pissed off that her kid was being bullied. The mother of the older kid was your typical lazy parent who doesn't give a shit about what their child is up to, and insisted it wasn't her problem. Now the mother of the younger kid looked extremely pissed off before they had even began to talk. I could visibly see her face growing redder and redder as each second passed. She told the other mom that she should bother to raise her kid properly, and said that her daughter should give her child an apology. The mother just shrugged it off and turned away. Apparently the mother of the younger girl didn't like that, because within seconds she grabbed her by the hair and slammed her face into one of the plastic slides. The rest of the kids simply watched in horror as the mother proceeds to push the woman headfirst into the ball pit while desperately trying to kick her in the head. The last thing I saw, she jumped up and tried to elbow drop her pro wrestling style. Quickly got my manager who called the police. The mother was thrown into the police car and I'm pretty sure they had to get an ambulance for the other woman. Needless to say, the play place closed.
That's a
early
good
that
mother
day.
right there.
They didn't
I know
reopen for
plenty
almost a
plenty
week.
of women that would do
Number
that for the
14.
child.
I worked at McD's in the late 90s and we had around a 400 or
Dear
500
God.
pound woman try to get into the play place. She got in and up to the middle level of the 3-level play tower and got stuck in a tube. We had to call 911 who had to get a crane and unbolt the tube and lift her and the tube out, then cut the tube off of her. She looked like a pig stuffed into a giant yellow straw. Our play place was out of order for 4 months while we waited for replacement parts.
Oh my God.
I believe that she thought it was a good idea anyway. The whole tube was bowing while she was stuck in there for almost 4 hours. The fire department.
I'm not gonna pick on
heavy
heavyset women and men, but what the fuck was going through that woman's head? Oh my God.
Number 13. I'm not an employee, but my aunt got stuck in the spiral slide once. Yeah, my aunt. She was like 40 at the time. I'm not really sure why she decided to go down the slide, but she did, and she didn't fit. They had to shut the play place down and call someone to pull her out. Number 12. I was a teenager, assumed 17 because I did reckless and stupid shit all the time when I was that age.
As most millennials do.
Really sinister though.
Or
Anyways,
angsty teens.
I was eating at the McDonald's off the 5 freeway in Carlsbad, back when it still had a play place. There was hardly anyone at that location at the time, and I had a group of friends that needed impressing, of course. The plan didn't come together until I was collecting our trash on our tray. The trash went into the bin, but the tray stayed with me. I ran into the play place squealing with excitement, my friends shouting questions at me as I disappeared into the structure. I'd like to point out that I was fully sized, so trying to touch as little as possible was difficult. The entire kitty mansion smelled of piss. That was okay though because I had made it to my destination, the swirly slide. With the tray in hand, I situated myself at the top of the ride like someone trying for the Jamaican bobsled team. I never really thought about what would happen. I just thought it sounded awesome. I flew down that slide at about 1,000 miles per hour. The end of the slide, the part of my ride I neglected, perhaps on purpose, was aimed directly at the glass wall of the establishment. 1 second I was in a tunnel of hellish excitement, the next I was flying into a sheet of glass. No, it didn't break, but I knocked myself out, and the window was fucked. It didn't shatter, but definitely needed repairs. When I came to, I looked inside to see the cashier, their customer, the manager.
At least he wasn't jumping out of the back of trucks and going 50 miles an hour.
When I realized I should leave. Number 11.
I've done that.
And this fat kid
like
gets stuck in
very
the play
well.
place. and when I was sent in to pull him out, I got sued for reckless endangerment of a child and inappropriate contact with a child. I seriously wanted to punch the parents. Fuckers got me fired and held me in court for 3 months. Number 10. I worked at McD's way back in the day, 13 years ago, and before I started, a kid climbing on top of the equipment fell off and broke his arm. A photographer came to the store to take photographs of the equipment for the pending lawsuit. The store manager gave the okay, and the guy went out to do what he came to do. The owner of our franchise came in, found out that the guy was outside on the playground, and went out to confront the guy. After a few heated comments, the store owner starts to shove the photographer, telling him to get the hell off my property with kids watching. All the kids came running into the store, screaming and crying.
You know, I really hate ads. Like, seriously? I don't know how to edit, and I can't crop or cut shit out. Sucks. Or it's just buffering because my internet's crap, even though
The parents tried to dodge the now full-out fist fight on the playground. 2 grown men, screaming and punching while kids were screaming like Jesus was on them. I didn't last long at that job. Number 9. My sister had to clean piss that went from the top of the slide to the bottom. She started at the top like an idiot and lost her footing. Number 8. There was a kid's birthday party and they were having a photo taken in front of the play place. At my brother's suggestion, I went to the top of the play place and photobombed their
You
photos
would
by
pay me
pushing my
enough to
ass
clean
against the
piss
portal.
off a fucking
One of the
slide.
parents had those
Fuck
infrared cameras,
that.
and the kids were crowding
I'd make the
around looking
parents
at it.
do it.
I sneaked a peek to check out my photobomb, and my ass turned out majestic. I still like to think that the photo is framed somewhere to this day on someone's mantelpiece. Number 7. I worked at Mcdonald's 6 or 7 years ago, and once a child pissed at the top of the play place. The stairs are split level the whole way down, so it became a cascading waterfall of
Fucking
urine.
kids.
This is where things start to get
What the
weird.
hell?
McDonald's is an equal opportunity employer, and we had hired a mentally handicapped lady to clean the dining area. She was the first employee alerted to the situation by one of the children. This mentally handicapped lady immediately scolded the child and told him to clean it up and gave him a bar towel. This child did exactly what he was told and began crying as he became drenched with piss. He ran out of the play place and explained to his mother what had transpired. The mother, furious, stormed to the counter to demand a manager. She was ready to sue McDonald's and settle
It's
out
your own
for
kid's
a large
piss.
undisclosed amount.
You're teaching them responsibility.
He was dismissed.
Come on.
I should also mention that yours truly had to clean the play place in the end. Fuck. Number 6. Some little kid shit in the twisty slide, but it was in the middle of the slide, so the kids at the top couldn't see it. So kids would slide down unknowingly into a makeshift shit and slide and get
I swear to God, that's probably the most diabolical thing you could do. Like, even as a little kid, I mean, what the fuck? But still, I'm pretty sure the kid was watching Jackass or some shit because goddamn, that is fucked. Oh God, you dirty little bastard. I can just imagine the fucking parents' faces like, what the fuck? I made the little kid clean everything. I'd make sure his parents were well occupied while that kid cleaned up his own shit. I wouldn't care if he looked like, crap, but, that's fucked. You diabolical little bastard.
On their backs, faces, back of their head, hands, etc. It was
God, that's
horrendously
gross.
disgusting. Worst day of my life. Number 5. McDickhole's employee here. No play place at my location, but I'm gonna vent about mostly irrelevant things so you have some insight about working fast food. Lunch rush, 8-hour shift, hungover as fuck working the register. People ordering Happy Meals. Not specifying which Happy Meal, just saying a Happy Meal. Me, which Happy Meal would you like? Parent bends down to their child to ask. Child mumbles, hides head in shame. Meanwhile, the line is growing longer as customers become more disgruntled.
That would be annoying.
A bead of sweat begins to form on my brow as the mother tells her child to tell me which meal. An eternity elapses before mere infant utters its first incomprehensible words. Once again, child whispers something in Gaelic. Sorry, I didn't quite get
This will
that.
pick up on the other video.
Parent will not clarify. Time to guess. Orders a large sweet tea, 3 McDoubles, and a large fry. She's watching her weight, so she asks for no salt on the fries. Sees no irony in this. We have to make...
This will pick up on the other video. Like and subscribe, and hopefully you guys enjoy, because goddamn, this shit is funny. Oh,